Hello again, this is the video for Daf Nun Tet, page 59 of Masechet Ketubot. I am, again, Josh Kulp. I hope you've been enjoying Ketubot. We're getting to some of the most interesting material, I think, in the entire Masechet. So let's go ahead with the Mishnah on the second Amud, the second part of the Daf. This Mishnah is about the main responsibilities that a wife has to her husband. Now, I know that I think in our day it sounds a little sort of stark to say that a woman has to, let's go over the list, grind wheat for her husband, bake, which would probably include cooking, wash his clothing, cooking for him, right, nurse his child, make his bed, and make the wool. Right? We live in an egalitarian society where we don't come into a marriage with the expectation that somebody else will do particular household chores, and the other person can sort of sit on his or her backside and relax the whole time. But I don't really think that this is what the Mishnah is doing. I think the Mishnah sort of has an understanding that before anybody comes into marriage, in the end, there are expectations as to what gets done around the house. My wife and I have a particular agreement in our house that I do the laundry. This has changed a little bit. Our daughter helps with it, and she does the dishes. And actually helped our marriage knowing that she dealt with all the dishes and I deal with all the laundry. This way, if there's laundry piling up and no one did it, I'm to blame. And if the dishes are in the sink, she's to blame. It helped knowing what everybody's responsibilities are. For instance, I'll give you another example. Maybe this is common to other men and women out there. She makes the shopping list, but I go and buy the food. Okay? Hopefully, we've worked out roughly equal arrangement. I'm sure that my wife does more work than I do, but she's an incredible woman, so what can I say? So when the Mishnah says a woman has to do these things for her husband, I don't think it's turning her into a slave woman. What it's basically saying is there's an expectation when you go into marriage, there are certain things that a person has to do, and those are accordance with the norms of the society, but it's best to work them out beforehand. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something in the second half of the Mishnah. The Mishnah imagines if a wife brings in slaves, then she wouldn't have to do all of this work because she's basically paying somebody else to do it. However, right, there are interesting opinions there at the end of the Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer says, even if she brings in 100 slave women, the husband can force her to work to make the wool. Why? Because being unemployed or with nothing to do leads to sexual licentiousness. What he's trying to say is somebody who sits around with nothing to do is going to find trouble for themselves. Right? It is good for a person to have some goals in life, occupation in life, things that they need to achieve on a daily basis. And this is something I believe very much, and that people will get in trouble if they have nothing to do. And therefore, she's obligated not so much to him, but she's obligated to herself to continue to do some kind of work, even if she does not need to do so financially. I think that's a deep message. The second part is Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says even somebody who swears that his wife should not do any work. All right? And you might be thinking, why would a husband make such an oath, or a swear, a vow that his wife shouldn't do any work? Why would a husband do that? But I can tell you there are people out there who say, my wife isn't going to work. To this day. Right? It's a way of showing their economic level for a man to show how strong, financially stable, and how he can support his wife. And his wife can sit there on the couch all day and just look good, right? And just sit there. And that's a way of his showing his economic strength, right? His ability to pay for his family. He's not allowed to do that. Why? Right? It'll drive her to be mad with boredom. Okay, because when you tell somebody they're not allowed to do anything, they just have to sit there and look good. Well, what if she wants to work? What if she wants to go out there and occupy herself? She has a right to be a productive human being, and that's something I think is important, right? Our partners are not there to glorify us. They have their own individual lives, right? And marriage cannot infringe upon the other person from engaging in pursuits that bring meaning and reason to their lives.